M16, Easy hanging out with you. Easy, what's up, man? We ain't done no interviews in a minute, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, it's been too long, bro. But we got a really good guest today. Looking forward to this interview. Um, I'm really excited to do this and see what our folks think of it as well.
I am too. So we're talking to the multi-talented Zaida Lisa, all right? So she has her own business. She's an entrepreneur. She's got her store, Caza De Fez, but she's got the awesome Mama's Cocktail Hour podcast network that's out there making big moves all over the place. So we're going to talk to her about that and about opening her business as well. So, let's not waste any time. Let's bring her in and let's talk to her.
You are now listening to The Radio Show.
Gas company tried to hit me for 5 cents earlier this year. And I transposed the digits. And so my payment was 5 cents off. And they sent me that termination letter real quick. I was like, you got to be kidding me. 5 cents? They was like, yes, we want all our coins, even the nickels. Damn.
They said we got a business to run.
I had to pay $3.75 to pay 5 cents. I was mad as hell.
You know how many customers we got? We got over 38 million customers. We let 38 million people get away with 5 cents each. You know how much money that is? I ain't doing that math.
You're listening to The Radio Show on YouTube and all other podcast providers.
All right, we got another episode of The Aftermath on the air. We got Zaida Lisa here, Mama's Cocktail Hour Network, hanging out with us. Zaida, thanks for making the time. Thanks for making the time to come hang with us.
Absolutely. This is amazing. It's dope. I wouldn't have missed it.
I appreciate it. So we're gonna jump right in here. So I guess we want to start with your origin. So we can start talking about where your love for like radio and podcasting came from, and when did you know you had this love and passion for communicating with people?
Wow, that's a really long story, but and knowing my gift of gabs, I could keep you on here forever. But honestly, a lot of everything transitioned for me when we got heavy into COVID and everybody was home. And I finally got to a part in myself where I was like, yo, I feel like I'm hiding myself a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I had kids. My body was completely different than it was previously. I didn't feel comfortable in front of the character, but like, my energy has always been an energy where I love people. I love speaking. I love being funny. Like I love making people feel welcome and at home. So this has always been my aura, but I just hid it for a really long time because I wasn't comfortable with the way I looked. So I finally, got up enough courage with like the support of my husband to kind of just be me. And that's where I started Mama's Cocktail Hour. It was to basically have hard conversations, talk about stuff like confidence, sex, really tough stuff that happens in marriages that women don't want to talk about, or just tough things that happen in general that women kind of feel ashamed about. And so like, I wanted to like have those conversations, and Mama's Cocktail Hour just kind of took on some legs of their own. And now we have this amazing network with 4 amazing women, and we talk about hard topics all day.
Nice. And the answer to that question kind of lead me to where I was headed next with that, about the formation of Mama's Cocktail Hour. As far as you talked about when it started, but how did you ladies come together? And, when did you know, like, okay, this is starting to become something? Because, if anybody were to follow you on social media, they can see that there's a following and there's people that are out there that are paying attention to what you guys are doing. So how did you guys, come together?
So essentially when we first came together, it was me and my best friend, Elise. When I started this journey, I was like, hey, do you want to start a podcast with me? And she was like, yo, definitely. And then that kind of led into my cousin coming on board after she saw like, hey, we were developed a little bit. We started doing some lives. She kind of checked it out and was like, wow, I would love to be a part of this. And my cousin was going through something really hard in her life. And I felt like, she needed something, and it was like another woman's perspective. So it was just like natural. And then one of our last people was Jazz. And I've known Jazz for a while. And when I told her about the podcast, she was just like, yo, you guys are missing something so important. And we were like, what? And she was like, yo, mental health. And it is something that she suffered with, that she's been very like private about, because, you know, we all come from like Black melanated homes, Latino homes, where that shit is not talked about. So here we are just like, yo, she's like, yo, I want to talk about this. And it was like, yo, you down? And then from there, that's how we kind of just all kind of joined forces. And we started Mama's Cocktail Hour.
Nice. Love it. Love what you guys are doing. And you know, like you said, you know, when we were talking back and forth, it's a vibe is what it is. So definitely had that out there. So again, we're talking to the lovely, talented Zaida Lisa, Mama's Cocktail Hour Network. Now, this is the part where I recap information. Zaida's got a lot of stuff here. So you can find Mama's Cocktail Hour, which includes That's Dope with the aforementioned Zaida Lisa. All right, you can find them on Instagram at Mama's CH Network. And you can find Zaida Lisa at Zaida_Lisa_. And on Facebook and YouTube at Mama's Cocktail Hour. We're going to get into this. She has a store, Caza De Fez. You have something for Zaida Lisa.
So what is, you know, just based on the show and everything you guys have talked about, what was like the best piece of advice or like the aha moment that somebody mentioned on the show and you're like, you know, that's some good advice. Like, that's probably the best thing I've heard on this show.
Wow, that's like a really tough question. And I love that. I love dope question, because it's like, there's so many things that kind of hit home. And when you say favorite, I can only talk from my perspective, right? And so like from my perspective, I feel like some of the best gems that I got was from one of the segments on there called Tuesday Talks with Jazz, where she kind of indulged a little bit on confidence. So that's something that, you know, I have now grown. Like if you watch like my page, like I'm trying to kind of just be more out there with my body and stuff like that. And that's for nobody other than myself, right? Because I want to see my own, like I want to see my growth. I want to show women that you can show your body despite like stretch marks and fupas and love handles. Like you could be proud of that shit because your body is all about a journey, right? So Jazz was the first to be vulnerable and have that conversation, because even though like I'm talking about that now, about 2 years ago, it was very hard for me to talk about the shit that made me feel insecure. So I feel like one of the dopest episodes is an episode where she talks about we're going on a photo shoot for our podcast. And she sees kind of like all the girls kind of killing it in the photos and like being really fierce and being sexy. And she was like, yo, she couldn't. She felt so like, she was like, yo, I felt so like jealous of my own friends. Like, I wish I had that confidence. I wish I had that love. I wish I had that like, and it was like, for her to say that on live in front of people, it was just like so awakening for me, because I felt that my whole life. Like I've always felt like the girl that was like, yo, cool, plays basketball, chills, like one of the cool girls, but I never saw myself as like a sex symbol or beautiful or, you know what I mean? So like when she broke that down in a live, like was vulnerable, it was like everything for me, for sure.
So I know you had mentioned that a lot of the folks on the show are married and you guys talk about marriage and you guys talk about, you know, raising a family and all that stuff. So what is your like best piece of advice to a couple that recently got married, or those couples out there that, you know, are just getting started with marriage?
Oh, wow. So I think the best piece of advice is like, when you're joining a union and it's two people coming together, remember that, like, I think a lot of people like to say like, oh, you know, I've been in love with my spouse for like 15 somewhat years, right? Like, I believe shit like that to be like bullshit, because you fall in and out of love with your spouse. It's natural. You grow, you change. I'm not the same person I was 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, me and my spouse been married 12, going on 13 years, been together like 15. So it's like, I'm not the same person, right? So I've changed, I've evolved, he's changed, he's evolved. So like the best piece of advice is like, yo, you can't be happy in a relationship if you're not content with yourself. You know, so like it really starts with self-development, because a lot of people get married and they lose themselves and they kind of just maybe like the stronger person in the relationship, you're just gonna follow suit, right? You're just gonna follow with whatever they like, whatever hobbies they like, you're gonna follow that. Whatever they do, you're gonna follow that because you don't know yourself. So I feel like for me, the biggest advice that I could give anybody is like, yo, when you go into a marriage, you need to really still focus on yourself, because your husband or your spouse can't make you happy. Only you can make you happy. And that was something that I had to learn, because for years, my husband like has always been into music, like he raps, he produces, he's always been in the media, and I've always been someone that was like in the back. So it was like, that wasn't because of him. That wasn't because he wasn't trying to push me forward. It's because I wasn't content with myself. So I would tell like women out there, like, yo, regardless of your relationship, or you feeling comfortable, or you loving him, and now you feeling like, yo, we tied the knot, we good, we Gucci. Like, no, there's still a lot of growing. There's still a lot of developing. And then when I came into this and my husband finally saw me like flourishing in what he knew I had the whole time, it's just like, it's changed the dynamic. Like, we are more in love, you know what I mean? The sex is amazing, you know what I mean? Because now, like, you're content with yourself. Like, it's all about confidence. And it's like, I don't think people know that. People understand that.
That's a really good answer. Like, yeah, like,
yo, I think I got y'all speechless. I got y'all speechless a little bit here.
Yeah, because that's some real. That's some real. Yeah, that's some real shit right there. That wasn't just, one of those generic, well, stay true to yourself. No, it's like, look, okay, you need to love you. And a lot of people need to, remember that part of it. Don't lose yourself. Now, that's some good stuff right there. So, again, we're talking to Zaida Lisa, all right? Mama's Cocktail Hour. That includes That's Dope with Zaida Lisa, all right? They're on Instagram at Mama CH Network. And you can find Zaida Lisa at Zaida_, Zaida _ Lisa _. They're on Facebook and YouTube at Mama's Cocktail Hour. All right. And she's got her store, Caza De Fez, and the website is fezdealer.com. All right. So Zaida, we're going to switch gears for a second and talk about your entrepreneurial side. So you recently opened your store, which I was mentioning, Caza De Fez. Can you tell us like the meaning behind that name and then some of what it took to get that off the ground? Maybe not just from a commitment standpoint, but how much patience it took to hang in there and get this on.
Yeah, definitely. That's what That's Dope is currently talking about this series, doing like a 7-part series on entrepreneurship. And the reason why I did that was because I felt like there's a lot of people on the gram that talk about entrepreneurship and make it look so glorious, but no one really wants to talk about the real, like the tears, the struggling, the thinking of creative ways. So I definitely wanted to highlight that. So Caza De Fez was, my husband is the Fez dealer. What is that? Like, he is creative. He sews, he makes fezzes, he styles people. He's really heavy into fashion. And so when in 2020, I started Mama's Cocktail Hour and my husband started Fez Dealer, and he started to sell fezzes, and he started to pick up a lot of like just people. It was like a niche, like a really small niche, and he was just killing it. And so many times in our life, like there's been times where it was like, yo, you guys should do something. You guys should like write a book. Like there was always like this energy where we felt like we wanted to like open up a store. It's always been like my husband's dream. And during the pandemic, like we took a leap of faith. You know what I mean? Like we were like, you know what? We had some money saved. My husband had really worked on his business credit with developing Fez Dealer. So we were able to kind of make certain moves to create a store. So, all right, now we have this idea, right? Yo, we got this energy. We want to open a store, but like, how do we do that? And what is the store going to consist of, right? So of course, clothing store, but we were looking for something where we can do clothing and we can do events and podcasting and just, be able to kind of utilize the space in a different way, more on a creative standpoint. I thought of Caza De Fez because my husband's Moroccan. Like I said, he's the Fez dealer. He creates fezzes. And then I'm Hispanic. I'm Puerto Rican, Dominican, from New York. That's where you get the flavor, the energy. And so it was just natural to be like, yo, let's create Caza, incorporating me into the brand, my, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, and then De Fez, which is House of the Fez. And so that's where we came up with the name. We went from there and we opened our store. We found a place. We opened our store in February. We had a grand opening. The amount of love that I got from people that on Instagram that I've never even met before in my life just came to the grand opening. Just the support was just amazing. And from there, we just hit the ground running. Like, I started doing women empowerment events in my backspace, which is like all Moroccan inspired. That's where I'm at actually right now. So I created like a little podcast area. So I also do podcasts here for people who are not able to do it or don't have the space. So we utilize the space for that. And yeah, we sell our clothing. And a lot of the clothing, some of the clothing is curated by us. And so like I either pick them out myself. Like for instance, this top I'm wearing is like Caza De Fez. I curated this, found this, and now I'm selling it. And other stuff is like handmade. We have handmade jewelry, we have handmade fezzes. So, and it's all Moroccan vibes. For sure.
Oh, nice. And then like you were just saying, you showing off your merchandise, like showing your own product, which is all good. You gotta sell yourself on that one. So I wanted to ask you, just sort of going back with the entrepreneurial thing, where there's a lot of people, like you said, they talk about being entrepreneurs on social media.
Right.
What is the biggest misconception that people have about when, people always say all the time, well, I want to start my own business, I want to do my own business. What's the biggest misconception that people have when it goes into, going into business for yourself?
I think the biggest misconception is that everybody is going to support. Like, that is the biggest misconception. Like, you may even think like your family is going to be the first one on boards, and they're not going to be, because a lot of people see their own fears. They project their own fears onto you. So it's like, for a family, they're like, oh, you're going to do that? You're going to quit your job, or you're going to, and I'll be honest, like I did not quit my job. You know what I mean? Like I didn't leave, but my husband did take this on full throttle, So it's like, you got to be realistic also, and I think a lot of people just like to be like, oh, yo, entrepreneurship. Yeah, I don't want to work for the man, blah, blah, blah. I'm quitting my job. And like, hey, some people are successful and that's dope. But there's other people that if you don't have work ethic, if you don't know what it is, like, because remember, this is not like, you got to be a self-starter. You got to make things happen. Things aren't going to happen. You understand? So it's like, for me, it's like I sit down at the drawing board and I'm like, okay, what events am I going to host this month to try to generate a buzz? You know what I mean? Because sometimes people walking into your store, they see something and they're like, yo, this might not be for me, but I do know a person who may need something, right? So it's all about how many eyes you get on your product. But yes, the biggest misconception, going back to your question, is that not everybody is going to support. Not everybody is going to be as enthusiastic or as happy about you progressing as you think. And that was a rude awakening for me, because I'm the type of person, like, I love hard on everybody. It's my biggest blessing and my biggest curse too. And so I thought when I would be opening a business, like my family, all my family, I take that back, because there is a good majority of my family who has ride or died. But I expected everybody to ride or die. And that's not what happened. Some people are dealing with insecurities. Some people don't want to see that you're doing better than them. Some people are upset that you're doing better than them. You know what I mean? So they're not going to show you love. And you may internalize that. I know I did. I know there was a lot of people that I was looking at slide like, yo, so you really not going to say congratulations or even show up in the store? I've already had it for this amount of months. But again, you don't want that shit to be not authentic. You know what I mean? So for me, I had to let go and be like, yo, you know what? It's not for them. And I can't be mad at them. I can't hold a grudge. I just know where I got to keep you now.
Your answers are great. Like, I love your energy. Like, for real. Like, it comes across the passion. Like, it's like infectious. Definitely appreciate it. Easy. I got a couple more for Zaida, but I know you want to jump back in. I know you got something else for it.
So let's talk about that some more though, like with the family, like, cause you hit a point on the head that I like, it stuck with me because it's so true. Like, you got these folks on TikTok, Instagram, and they making a 50-second video talking about how easy it is to start a business, how easy it is to get a loan for this, how easy it is to do this, and you're like, yeah, you say it's easy. So like for you, what was that moment where you were like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do this. Like, we're going to do this and we're just going to go full throttle with it. Because I think a lot of people have great business ideas, but they're scared to pull that trigger or to make that jump. So like for you and your husband, like what was that moment, or did somebody say something to you where you were like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it.
I mean, honestly, I'll be 100% candid. I still remember the day that we pushed the button on it. So it was a Sunday night, and Sunday nights are really hard for me because like I go into like podcast mode, right? Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm heavy into it. And then Sunday is like rude awakening for me because now I gotta, like I'm a corporate woman. I'm a manager in a hospital. So it's like I had to put back on my corporate hat. And those days is the days that I'm like, yo, entrepreneurship sounds so good, right? Like, I don't want to go back telling my husband, like, yo, I don't want to go to work tomorrow.
Especially with you being in management, Lord.
Right?
So, we can get on that in a second. I'll let you finish. But
it was that moment that I was like, yo, you know what? Let's see if we can take out this business loan. And let's see what happens. Let's just like, I came across something on my phone that was like, yo, would you like to apply for a business loan for a credit union? Because those are like the best places to kind of get business loans from folks. Commercial banks ain't gonna give you nothing. You gotta go to a credit union. Let me drop that gem for y'all here. So we did, like I hit the button. I literally applied for some money, and like I'm talking about big money, and it was like, boom, approved. And it's like, yo, when that shit is sitting right in front of you, it was like God. It was like, yo, this is not, you know, this is my path. This is what I'm supposed to do. Because if not, like, I'm very impulsive. Something that I just brought up is like, yo, I suffer from ADHD. I found that out as a grown ass woman. And it plays into my, you know, who I am as a person. I'm very impulsive. So I did it on an impulse, and I was approved. And it was like, yo, we were approved for like this amount of money. And it's like, yo, what do you do with that? You move the fuck forward is what you do. And that was the moment where we were like, yo, we doing this. And he was like, yo, we doing this. And from there, we just, every step, you know what I mean? Like now we looking for a place, you know, now we got the money, it's here. Now we looking for a place. Then we found a place. And it was just like, yo, God set that in motion for sure. It wasn't me, it was God.
So, I said I was going to get back to the management. So I don't know how much managing of people you do for your business, but what would you say is the biggest difference between your leadership style in corporate America versus your leadership at Caza De Fez?
Well, I would say both, because I'm a very strong-minded woman, and I love that I'm with
Really? Can't tell.
Listen, I love that I'm with a man that is very secure, right? Like my husband is someone like he sits back and he lets me like do my thing, because he's like, yo, you so amazing, like you so like teach these men what they need to learn. You know what I mean? Like he's like that type of person. So that so empowers me, and I'm so blessed to have somebody like that in my life. But leading in corporate America is like I'll be honest, I have to dumb some of me down. I have to humble me a little bit. But one thing that I did learn, right, once I became an entrepreneur, was one thing that is so important. It's like, yo, I'm gonna be me in every room. Like Jay-Z said, I'm not gonna switch up for the man. Like I'm gonna be me in every room, and you're gonna take this. So now I incorporate my Caza De Fez energy into my managerial job in corporate America, where I'm firm, but I'm still like helpful, I'm still sweet, and I still give you the real. You know what I mean? Like I give you the real. Hey, if you're gonna get written up for something, just know you did that, not me. You know what I mean? Like, so I had to, like, I incorporated some of that confidence into my job now. And now it's like, yo, I am who I am. You could take it or leave it. I'm firm, I'm cool. I'm like, you know, I'm good energy, but I also get the job done. Point blank, period.
Yeah. And, you know, I don't know how long you've been in management, but that takes a while to learn, because like, yes. I'm not in management anymore. I had to take myself a break, but I was in it for 5 years. And that point you made about, if I'm writing your ass up, it's your fault.
Exactly.
I'm just following the play. And that was like, for me as a young leader, that was so hard to learn at first, because you like, man,
you feel guilty.
You're like, man, this person got a family. I'm taking away their job, this and that. And it's like, hold on. These are the rules, whether you agree with them or not. You're not following the rules. I talked to you about it once. I talked to you about it twice.
Yep.
You a grown ass man or woman. Like, you're not a kid. So look, just take this right up. Go about your business.
No hard feelings. We
no,
still
no, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
we vibe. We talk about Rick Ross or whoever. But you this is it. And it's like that's a great gem right there, because there's a lot of young leaders in this world that, like, they're just trying to appease their employees, right? They want their employees to like them. It's like, who cares about if your employees like you or not? As long as they respect you. You can talk shit about me all you want, but if I tell you, hey, I need this done, and you do it, that's all I need from you. Period.
Yep.
So I think that's a great gem that you hit on right there.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, shit on a few of them here. So Zaida, I got a couple more here for you, and then we got a question game that we do also. I wish they lighten things up, but they've been light, because you've been so so cool with your answers and stuff. It's not much to lighten up. We're just gonna have a little bit more fun talking. So circling back into Mama's Cocktail Hour here. So I guess, what do you want to see from Mama's Cocktail Hour as things continue to grow? Like more collaborations, expanding the network further, maybe other projects like TV and film. What's the end game for Mama's Cocktail Hour?
Wow. You just did something for me. You just put something into my soul. So I appreciate you. Film, you said film, TV, like that was always my vision. Like, when we got together with Mama's Cocktail Hour, it was difficult too in the beginning. Because, you got 4 different women, 4 different perspectives, and 4 different women in different stages in their life. Right. So I really understood, like, it's dope to see us all together and give perspectives, but nobody's going to really start to learn the individual unless we start to do one-on-one things. So that was the concept where I came up with Mama's Cocktail Hour being a network, because I wanted different perspectives. I wanted people to catch different vibes at different times. Like, I'm a good time, but some women may be intimidated by my essence, may not like me, may feel like I'm too much. And, there was a time where Zaida would be like, what? I'm such a people pleaser. I want everybody to like me. But I started to understand, like, no, they may not resonate with me, but they may resonate with my friend. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. It's about women being able to come together, share information, share stories, and grow. So, I had to, when I came up with that idea, I was like, the essence of like TV just kind of came. It was like, we're going to be a network, and there's going to be different channels. So for example, we have For the Culture for Nancy G, where she is trying to bring back cooking into the homes so that kids know how to cook for themselves and stuff like that. So she shows a lot of her recipes, and that's like our cooking episode. And then we have At Home with Elise, where my best friend Elise kind of took on like, decorating, event planning, and stuff like that. And on there, she talks about all those type of things. And then we have Tuesday Talks with Jazz, where she kind of talks about mental health and some of the struggles that she has with mental health, because she suffers with certain conditions and stuff like that. So, and then there's Dad's Dope, where you come and you never know where the show's gonna go. You know what I mean? It's whatever I feel like is dope and what I feel like is important. And yeah, so I would say that that's a big goal for me, is like, yes, ultimately getting on a network, someone picking something up. I feel like it's important. I feel like a lot of the stuff on Instagram is very wishy-washy, is very washed down. People are very protective of their image and how they look. And me, I'm just like, no, this is the real. Like, you're going to take this or leave it. This is how I feel. And that's what I wanted for Mama's Cocktail Hour. And I feel like that's what I'm portraying to my fans and stuff.
Love it. The answer that you gave was nothing that I didn't come to expect from getting to know you just now. It fit right into what we had been talking about, right on in there. So one last thing before we get into our game here. So we talked about a lot of stuff here, Zaida. Is there anything that we missed, like upcoming projects, like your schedule as far as when you drop stuff? Is anything else that we might have missed or didn't touch on that you want to put out there?
I definitely want to put out there that Caza De Fez is something that people could support from like near and far. You know, we also want to start giving back to our community because I really wanted this to be a place where, you know, melanated people and people of color can come and kind of feel at home. And I've been able to do that. So I just kind of wanted to throw my business out there one more time. If you guys are not following Caza De Fez, it's Caza De Fez NJ on IG. And then you can check out our website at fezdealer.com. Upcoming projects, I definitely want to collaborate more. My dream has always been like to be on radio. Like Angie Martinez is even what inspired me to start talking. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a VJ so hard. Like I wanted to be on MTV. I wanted to be on 106 in Park. Like that was something. So my husband had told me like, yo, you make your own MTV. You make your own 106 in Park. And I felt like that's why Mama's Cocktail Hour was destined. So yeah, I'm gonna just continue collaborating, continue getting my name out there, continue like vibing with dope individuals like yourself, and hoping that one day this can move on to the next level, or I can get something on the next level, because I really, really just love vibing with people. Like this is what I do. I love connecting. So I hope that one day like that comes into fruition.
Nice. That's a nice ultimate goal and a nice bow to put on where you're trying to build with Mama's Cocktail Hour, the network, with all your people. And, you can see good things coming with that. I mean, look at what you did. You said you pushed the button. You was like, yo, I'm doing this entrepreneurial thing, same thing with the network. So it's going to pop because you believe in it. You got other people that believe in you. And what you said resonated a lot too, as far as people look at family or friends. And I'm not trying to say that we don't have family and friends that support us either, but a lot of great support that we get are people who we don't know them. They don't know us, but sort of just vibe with each other.
Yeah, they find something that resonates with them, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
Where are you guys located? Because I mean, we got some folks that listen, kind of everywhere. So if they local, they can always come check you out.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We're located in Kingsburg, New Jersey. So we out here in New Jersey. It's like an hour ride from New York. So if whatever reason you're always in New York, you can just come on through. So we're located in New Jersey. Our hours are 12 to 6, Monday through Sunday. So we always out here. If like right now, my son and my husband, they in the front of the store, watching the store, and I'm back here vibing with y'all. So it's a beautiful thing. It's like our creative space. So it's like we made it like we come to work, but it still feels like home, and it still allows us to be like creative.
Nice.
So yeah,
I got you covered too. If you in the New York, New Jersey area, you stop on by 260 Main Street in Kingsburg, New Jersey. Find Caza De Fez. They're waiting on you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You are now listening to The Radio Show.
Old people in general, stop wearing them ignorant ass Bluetooth pieces in your ear.
You're listening to The Radio Show ATL on YouTube and all other podcast providers.
We got this little question game that we do. It's called Don't At Me. And people say this on Instagram all the time or on Facebook, where it's like they have an opinion about something. They be like, look, that's where I'm at. Don't at me. That's it. So it's sort of like, Zaida, if I ask you, hey, do you like Coke or Pepsi? If you be like, oh, it's Pepsi. Don't at me. So every time you would give an answer to one of these questions, you'd just say, don't at me afterwards. That's how that works.
Okay. This sounds fun. I'm down.
All right. So we're going to roll with the first one here. All right. So Zaida, as far as movies go, you rather see the movie in theaters or you wait to stream it at home?
I definitely got to go there and eat some popcorn. So don't at me. I'm watching it in the movies.
All right. Let's go to the movies. Easy. What's up, man? See it in the theaters or stream at home. We both go through stretches of laziness when we don't feel like, doing a whole bunch of stuff. So what's up, man?
I ain't gonna lie to you though, 16. I just went back to the movies and it hit different being in there. 2 years, so I'm gonna go with the movies. Don't at me. Even though laying in the bed and watching the movie is just,
It's cool too.
yeah. Even though I fall asleep on the shit and I gotta watch it again.
Yeah, then you gotta rewatch the shit. I know.
Yeah. So you got that luxury, but I'm gonna go with the movies. Don't at me.
Falling asleep, you getting old, boy. You getting old.
Hey, my comfy
let's see,
bed, okay, it ain't got nothing to do with age. It's just, you know.
We'll see. All right, so as far as seeing the movie in theaters or the way to stream at home, I don't know. I guess it depends on the movie, but I really like going to the movies though. Like I really like going to the movies, and we got this theater that's not too far from where we live at. You know, you can pick your seats beforehand, and yeah, I'm gonna have to go with seeing it in theaters, especially if it's a movie you really want to see.
Yeah.
You wasn't expecting that? I see. Switch it up,
man.
There you go.
Man, look. 16 when the pandemic started, you'll never find me in the theater again. I'm streaming everything. Why would I go to the theater? Man, you've done a complete 180 on this. I can't believe you right now.
That's dope.
I know I was up in there, big ass tub of popcorn. Yeah, I was good to go. All right. So Isaiah, we got the next one here. All right. So which of these are better in your opinion? Baby shower meatballs or baby shower drumettes?
Definitely. Baby shower wings. No. Yeah, baby shower wings. Don't at me, for sure. Like I love me some chicken wings. I can get down and dirty. I just gotta make sure I don't mess up the outfit. But wings for sure. Don't at me.
All right, Ez, I don't know how many baby showers you've been to, but which is your preference? The meatballs or the wings, the drumettes?
Well, the good thing about this question, right, is that the baby shower meatballs and the, like the Black Gathering meatballs, they kind of fall in the same category here.
Wait, you're gonna have to clarify what is the difference?
So there really isn't no difference. Like basically, and it's really like minorities, right? You go to this like cookout or this gathering, and they have those meatballs with the barbecue sauce in the crock pot.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Like those hit different. Like you can't make those anywhere else. Like you just have to hope that the elder in your family made them for whatever gathering it is. It's just the joke is, like for some reason they're always at a damn baby shower. Like they always have those meatballs at the baby shower. So that's why he was saying it like that. But yeah, it's definitely the meatballs for me for sure. Like they hit different. Yeah.
All right, for this one, I mean, I've only been to, I guess, maybe one baby shower, but that doesn't stop people from bringing back food. But I feel like it's the meatballs, I guess, if you had to choose one. I mean, chicken wings are fantastic, but I would rather get my chicken wings elsewhere than have to go to a baby shower. You know, meatballs, you can't get them just everywhere. So that's the one I would go with.
Okay.
All right. So we'll go with the next one here. All right. So if this one's gonna flunk, Zaida, if you don't drink orange juice, but when you do drink orange juice, or if you do drink orange juice, do you like the kind with pulp or no pulp?
Oh, okay. I definitely love orange juice, but the funny thing is like, as a kid, loved orange juice. Now, as an adult, like it gives me heavy acid reflux, but it's something that I love. As you get older, you don't want to admit your body starts to change and shit, but I still force myself to drink pulp. Don't at me.
Oh, okay, that's how she was like, acid reflux be damned, I'm drinking my juice.
No, facts.
Easy, man. What about you, man? OJ, pulp or no pulp?
No pulp, man. Don't at me. I don't need all that. I know it's like healthier and you got all the extra nutrients. It's a hard pass. Just give me my juice.
I know what you're saying.
I'll go to Smoothie King, man. Damn.
I know what you're saying, where it's like, because for me, it's no pulp also. Because if I want to eat a goddamn orange, I'll just eat a damn orange. If I want to drink some juice, I'm going to just drink some juice. But,
and then, like, now, where, like, if they cater the lemonade, they put it in these, like, individual bottles that you can drink. And right at the top is just this big-ass clump of lemon pulp. I'm like, come on, man.
My kids is definitely no pulp kids, so I understand I don't really indulge in that a lot because I ain't gonna drink the whole thing myself. So I understand.
Yeah, you gotta make that
It's a consistency.
Yeah, you gotta take one for the team on that one sometimes, especially with them kids. Keep them kids quiet because that's how that works.
I got 3 of them, so I know.
All right, here's the next one. All right, so this is going back to sort of movies again. All right, so if a movie takes place during Christmas, does it make it a Christmas movie?
Wow, that's a really good question. Wow. You know what? I'm gonna bring it back to Hallmark, and I'm gonna say yes. Don't at me. And the reason is because if it's taking place during Christmas, it's a Christmas story. Despite like it could be a hood movie, and if it's taking place during Christmas, it's a Christmas hood movie. Don't at me.
All right, and I can't because the game is don't at me. Easy, bro. If a movie takes place during Christmas, does that make it a Christmas movie?
Yes, and Zaida hit on it, but I'll take it a step further. If it's taking place during Christmas, there's always some kind of Christmas-like theme that's taking place in the movie. So that technically it does make it a Christmas movie. Now it might not be like The Grinch or anything like that, technically, especially when you get down to like Hallmark and Lifetime, it's a Christmas movie.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, there's some folks that say Home Alone's a Christmas movie, but the one that they took place during Christmas.
Well, the one I was gonna make an argument for, and for this one, I'm gonna say no, it doesn't. And the example that I would use with that is Die Hard. People like to say, "Oh, Die Hard is a Christmas movie." No, Die Hard is a movie that just happens to be taking place during Christmas. But it's not a Christmas movie. It's not like everybody's gonna, hey, let's gather around and sing Christmas carols and watch John McClane throw people off buildings. That's gonna spread some Christmas cheer.
I forgot about Die Hard. That's such a good example because there was no Christmas love in there. They was just up in a Christmas party.
There you go. That's it.
Okay.
So it took place during Christmas, but that wasn't no Christmas movie. That was just an action movie. That's what that was.
Yep, I agree.
All right, see, we here on that one. All right. So we got the last one here for you. This one is food related. The last one here. When you're eating, is it okay for your food to touch?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. Don't at me. I like my food to touch. I like beans on rice. It's a Hispanic thing. We like to mix things together. So yes, but I do understand the whole don't touch thing because my kids are very like, don't touch. If it touches, it's going in the garbage. And my answer to that, for all y'all who doing that, it's all going down the same place and it's touching in your stomach, FYI.
Thanks.
Oh yes,
Easy,
don't at me.
Yeah, Easy, you are a skinny fat kid, so I'm sure it don't matter about it. Doesn't matter.
Yes, I am a skinny fat kid. It doesn't matter. Don't at me. But I will say it can get a little wild. If you got yams mixing with green beans, the taste kind of gets a little weird. When you eating in that middle part, it gets a little weird, but it's still getting eaten, still getting consumed. So yes, you don't have to worry about that. Don't.
All right, for me, I don't care. What Zaida said is true. It's all going to the same spot. So if my rice get mixed in with the chicken a little bit, fine. It's all gonna get scooped up in the same spot. I don't care about that. I know some people, I got a couple cousins who they want to have their plates like fenced off by barbed wire because they don't want the stuff to touch. But for me, it don't matter. If you eating it, then it's going down,
Yeah.
And all right. So that was another round of being, don't at me, and that was definitely dope. And that was another thing that's dope is playing Don't At Me with Zaida Lisa on the Aftermath. She did a great job playing with our silly little game here for sure. All right.
I loved it. That was a great segment. Kudos to y'all. I really enjoyed it.
That all the credit
Appreciate
goes
it.
to 16 for sure.
Well, yeah. Every now and again I get something right.
You are now listening to The Radio Show.
But I'm taking this opportunity to say that Drew Brees has gone from New Orleans, that it needs to be said that everybody from Louisiana is not a Katrina victim. Stop asking people who are from Louisiana every time we mention it, hey, are you a victim of Katrina? We're all not Katrina victims, okay? Do you understand me? Some of us were here beforehand. We're not refugees. We pay taxes.
You're listening to The Radio Show on YouTube and all other podcast providers.
But Zed, I just want to say as we, wrap everything up that you are an excellent guest. You are exactly what I felt like you would be, but even more. Like the expectation was high, and then you went way past that, and it was just outstanding, your answers and everything. And I just wanted to reiterate real fast while we got you here to please support Mama's Cocktail Hour. That includes That's Dope, with Zaida Lisa. All right, find them on Instagram at Mama's Cocktail. It's Mama's CH Network and at Zaida_Lisa_. They're on Facebook and YouTube at Mama's Cocktail Hour. She's got her store, Caza De Fez, and the website is fezdealer.com. We're going to put it right there on the screen for you so you can see that. It'll also be in the podcast description as well. Zaida, like I said again, you are awesome. We hope this is a regular thing where we can talk on a regular basis, and we just appreciate it.
Anytime. Like, seriously, if you guys want to bring me back, let's do it. And if you guys are even bold enough to bring me back with my girls, let's do that too. Because I'm sure they're going to love your energy. So let's definitely make that happen for sure. I love you guys. This show is amazing. So thank you for having me. I'm super humbled for you guys to like see my stuff, have it resonate with you, and take the chance on me. I really appreciate you guys. This was dope.
Shit, thanks for coming on, letting us host you. But yeah, I'll speak for both of us. We'll definitely take you up on that. You know, whether us going on your show or you coming back with the ladies, we down.
All right, we gonna do this. We gonna host you this way first, and then we gonna come back to you guys after. Deal?
Okay, that works.
Yeah, that's 100% promise on that one.
You are now listening to The Radio Show.
I'm not, no, okay, he's got 40 in SIBO featuring E40. I feel like that's a very lazy song title. They just put both their names together and just 40 in SIBO featuring E40 by SIBO.
You're listening to The Radio Show on YouTube and all other podcast providers.
All right, Easy, we're back on the aftermath. We just got done talking to Zaida Lisa of the Mama's Cocktail Hour Network. How you feeling about talking to Zaida?
Man, great, dope conversation, awesome person. Some really good gems that she mentioned in the interview. You know, Z really got her shit together, so I hope, you know, our listeners really take in what she's saying and, you know, find something in it.
Yes, I'm talking about great answers to the questions that we had, full of personality. She said she was a vibe, and she wasn't lying. She is actually that and more. So
definitely a vibe, for sure.
Yes. So we're gonna put the information right up here on the screen. Please support Mama's Cocktail Hour. So that includes That's Dope with Zaida Lisa. All right. So they're on Instagram at Mama's CH Network, and you can catch her at Zaida_Lisa_. They're on Facebook and YouTube at Mama's Cocktail Hour, and you can check out her store, which is at 260 Main Street in Kingsburg, New Jersey, Caza De Fez, and you can check them out online at fezdealer.com. All right, now, as far as the radio show, I get to do my point thing. If you want to be a guest on the radio show, just hit us up, the radio show inbox at gmail.com, or you can send us a text, 678-800-1677. We definitely look forward to hearing from you. So, Easy, man, another great one in the books. Zaida Lisa, she was great. Love talking to her. Got another aftermath in the books. I definitely appreciate doing these with you, and for all the people who listen to and support the radio show ATL. Thank you so much. And we're just going to keep coming with more content, man. We're just going to keep dropping them all the time. So we appreciate you listening. Catch you next time.